And that's when I found out that just because you're the Pope, you still can't have a shit in the park. And we're live.
You are now listening to Radio Rufus.
Yes, you cheeky cardinals. Welcome back to another Catholic episode of Radio Rufus. That's right, I, Pope Protestant I, have been elected by the conclave to lead the delegation until my mortal soul leaves my body. Throughout that time, I will consume only bread, fish, and wine. It's going to be a lot of Pinot and a lot of fish fingers.
No Pope of mine is going to be a Protestant. Let me tell you that for free.
As always, I'm joined here by my beloved sister in the Lord, Sister Rafferty. Please greet the people.
Hello.
As always, he's here providing emotional, moral support. He also does the cooking for the delegation, and occasionally, now and then, he will throw it back for a real one.
And
that
I do
is
confessions as well.
confessions.
Yeah.
I still don't really know what that is.
Basically, someone will go in at Mass and the priest will be doing confessions. He'd be sitting through at another box.
Right.
And you'd be like, Father, I had 8 wanks this morning. And he'd be like, right, 3 Hail Marys.
Is that the conversion rate?
Yeah, he basically charge you for your sins
Well, it's
on
about
prayer.
2 wanks for a Hail Mary.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Once you get into double figures, you're into Our Father territory.
Right. I'm not really a church guy. That might surprise you. But I always thought that was a glory hole.
Probably no one in the Catholic Church has been used as one before.
Right.
Yeah.
Is every hole in a bathroom door a glory hole, or are some of them just regular?
I don't see why there'd be a hole in it if not for glory.
Yeah, because sometimes, like, we had one at school,
Yeah.
but it was a bit too high.
It's just like a 6'8" guy
maybe.
in 3rd year of school.
Well, it's just Josh Peters hanging out in the toilets.
Unless someone's doing a handstand.
Oh, I have to say, there was quite a lot of action during the conclave.
Yeah. Tell us about it. How'd that go?
Well, I don't think people know this, but those nuns get freaky.
I know more than anyone.
Especially since it was gonna be bring your own booze, but like as soon as I touched all the water, I mean suddenly it was awesome.
Yeah.
And then I found out I could run across the top of the swimming pool as well.
Yeah.
I mean it was brilliant.
You were bringing a 6-pack of Bustin to the prees.
Yeah, I have to say I was a little bit sick of fish fingers after 6 days.
By the way, I didn't realise nun outfits were so slutty. What do you see this?
Let's have a look at that.
Look at that. All thigh there.
Yeah. Wow.
I am freeballing it for anyone
Your
curious.
Your thighs really are a wonder of the world. It looks like you're stuck halfway transitioning to a werewolf.
I remember after the episode with your dad, we were in the pub and he was talking about how you've apparently got these wonderfully thick thighs.
Yeah.
And I was sat thinking, is he for real here?
Right.
Like sitting next to these things?
Yeah. I think, well, let's put it this way. If the rest of me is cocktail sticks, my thighs are like
Lumps of fucking timber.
are like strands of spaghetti, cooked spaghetti.
Right,
So it's
okay.
swollen up a bit.
Yeah.
Your thighs are like a bazooka.
Yeah. See, the thing is with me, though, I'm pretty proportionate, which I'm thankful for.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people with a bit of timber on them that don't have the height and the frame to support it.
Yeah.
I can carry like a stone or two pretty easily.
Right.
Whereas I've got some friends that hasn't a fucking shoulder to be seen, and they're 5'6" and they weigh the same as me, and they just look like a barrel of shit.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
You're definitely the hairiest nun I've ever seen.
You've never been to my parish, though. I've never seen fucking Veet.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's almost like a protest because they're not getting any anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's not as if they're shaving before a first date.
Right. That's true, actually. I tried to drop game. I went to the Vatican to watch the Pope election, and you can watch that YouTube video now. I mean, it got released a month ago when we were meant to film this, but we got a bit delayed.
What way did the election finish?
Tories. I voted Reform.
Yeah.
But no luck, unfortunately. Yeah, Tories won. So Tories in power until the Pope Leo dies.
Did it go to extra time or anything exciting?
Yeah, so I thought it was black smoke originally. So smoke comes out the chimney, and if it's white smoke, you get. I thought it was black smoke, black pope. Not true.
Yeah, I can see where you thought that.
Yeah. So the black smoke came out, and I thought, oh shit, maybe it's KSI.
It's a walkout FIFA card with KSI's head.
Exactly. I thought I'd packed Mbappe. Like proper team of the season. Yeah. I thought, and then it turns out it was a non-rare.
Yeah.
They sent it to VAR. So in the Vatican City, not joking now, in St. Peter's Square, they genuinely had big screens up.
It's like fucking Stockley Park in that bitch.
Yeah, honestly, it was like fucking Nebworth 96, Oasis. There were 40,000 people there, I think, and the Pope didn't even get elected. Everyone's just watching a chimney. For the people all the way in the back, you can't see the chimney. It is literally a chimney. But I had front row. I was in VIP for the Pope.
That's pretty good. You got barrier?
Yeah, I got barrier. Yeah. I was taking those videos where you can hear me screaming the lyrics in the background. Yeah.
See anyone that uploads their full night out to an Instagram story? Nobody cares.
You'll like this. I went on a date with a girl from uni, and afterwards she posted a TikTok that went viral, which was her in a club. You know those guys from TikTok who are, if you want to chat about floor, tell a fella come see me. You know, boy, you know, magic on the mic, Houdini. You know that? It was her screaming that. Like your bird sings TikTok songs at the club.
What were them fuckers called? The Charvas?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah. 15 minutes of fame went up in fucking smoke.
This is an excellent glass of Sauvignon Blanc.
Here, can you fill that full of Guinness there?
That's not how it works. You don't get to order what you want.
I don't know.
Sometimes I want a glass of water and I just can't.
You specifically have to drink it with a straw. It's a nightmare when you go swimming.
Oh, absolute nightmare.
Yeah. You're steaming by the second fucking breaststroke.
Gets in my eyes. I'm just
yeah.
I don't consent to it, but I'm just butt chugging it every stroke.
You have to stick to the shallow end, otherwise
I've always
you get
thought about
shit-faced.
that. Would you get drunk if you sat in a bath of vodka? Because surely a bit would get up the bum.
The bell end is also a weak spot.
Yeah. What, like in the hole or through the skin?
Both.
Okay.
I think it could seep into the skin fairly handy.
That's what I mean. Can it seep into all of your skin and then you just get absolutely hooned?
No orifice is safe, I
No.
don't think.
My motto for life.
That's where you text all your hinge dates.
That's what they text me.
That's whenever you know it's going through.
I need to change my prompts, man. I've got to say, stop saying that.
And he holds the goal.
My ideal Sunday is pegging and a roast. F1 pegging and a roast. But yeah, so I did go to the Vatican. I watched the Pope not get elected because he actually got elected the day after.
I want my money back for that.
Yeah, it's free, so
You don't have to pay in.
why would you pay?
Because the amount of fucking people there, I'm assuming they'd be thinking, you know what, we take a donation, we'll donate it to Catholic Church.
Yeah, they do love that sort of shit.
Yeah.
No, it's free.
Have you ever been at a mass? Genuine question.
I went to a Church of England school for a while. Shout out Father Felix,
Good
the
man.
big man, Felix Mascarenhas. That was his name.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he used to make the same joke every year. He used to light some candles,
Yeah.
and then they ring the bells at the church, and he'd go, "There's the smells and bells." Every year, never got old.
Yeah, that's class.
Pretty
Yeah.
classic. Yeah.
That would make the mass fly in.
Oh, it took the roof off, honestly. The Chuz were absolutely loving it. Church Chuz. You're dressed as a member of the Chuz today.
I am, yeah. I'm a proud member of the Church.
Sexy nun.
I've never felt sexier in my life.
No.
I've never been able to do this before.
That's true, yeah.
Is that hot?
Does look like wearing a pair of football shorts on your head.
A pair of fucking them £4 Sondigo shorts I used to wear in PE.
Yeah, exactly.
We see in a just standard Catholic mass, you'll have someone that's like volunteering for the church, going around with a collection plate, just shaking the plate at everyone, being like, "Put money in this."
Yeah.
What the fuck are they spending it on? Because not as if they've got big overheads at the Catholic Church.
That's true. They're not exactly. Well, see, I think what are they buying?
Maybe hush money for all the altar boys.
Hush money for the altar boys,
Yeah.
or are they just like are they in oil? What's in the portfolio?
Maybe Father McAlear's big into crypto.
Yeah, crypto. I think. I think that would be too far. It's like when I see a homeless person with a contactless receiver, and I'm like, this has gone too far now.
Yeah.
Once the church starts asking me for Bitcoin, I know it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you have to open your Binance account in the middle of a chapel,
Yeah.
there's curtains.
I have to remember my private key. Transfer it. But yes, we did go to the Vatican. You can watch that now. Eventually, we got Pope Leo the 14th.
Yeah.
He's from Chicago. I think personally, it's wrong for the Pope to speak English as a first language.
He's from Chicago? I don't even. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't paid attention to any of this.
Yeah, he's from Southside.
Big Kanye West fan,
Yeah, like he used to.
particularly after his most recent single.
Yeah, he used to smoke joints with Chief Keef. It's true. It's true. He's from O Block.
That's pretty interesting, to be fair.
Oh, my bitches love so.
See, until like the last month, I didn't realize that the popes weren't using their govies.
Yeah, they got street names.
I thought it was like just a big coincidence that there was 15 Pope Johns.
Well, you think they were just electing people called John every time?
Yeah, I thought like people called John were genetically predisposed to become Pope.
Right. Yeah.
And then I realized, I looked at someone's Wikipedia and I was like, that's not his real name.
No.
Fucking liar.
It's like when you find out what's Central C's name. It's like something ridiculous, like Ekin-Su Oakley.
Is that not the Love Islander?
Yeah, but it's a bit like that.
Yeah.
His name's like Ekin-Su something.
It's like whenever you find out Batista's real name's Dave.
I knew that.
Yeah.
His name's Dave Batista.
I know,
isn't it?
but yeah, it's like whenever you think of him as Batista, but some guy called Dave isn't half as cool.
Yeah, I knew a guy called Dave, Earl of Daventry. It's a terrible joke. So yes, but I wanted to run through, now that I've been elected Pope and I can heal people just by looking at them.
What name did you go for? Did you stick with Pope Muslim the first?
Pope Muslim the first.
Yeah.
I'm the first openly Muslim Pope.
Yeah.
Funny that there's never been one before me.
How are you liking the wine?
I hate the wine. I'm not really a fan of the sausages.
Yeah, it was a bold decision to serve sausage rolls at your ceremony.
Yeah, sausage rolls and Pinot, not my choice, I have to say. And I'm seeing a lot more ankle than I would have liked. Look, call me traditionalist, but I don't think nuns should be wearing flip-flops.
That's why I've got the fucking New Balance on.
Yeah, that's
Like a traditional nun should be.
Yeah, but you're also ready to do a park run if you need to.
Yeah. This thing is fucking aerodynamic.
It's not.
I've never felt more light in my toes, Rufus.
Yeah. It's like after having a big shit, I feel like Muhammad Ali. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Well, that's it, right?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Was that him? Or was that
It
Deji?
was. That might have been both of them.
Yeah. Or Deji's probably said it.
At some stage, yeah.
Yeah, but Muhammad Ali never said don't make it gay. So win for Deji, I think. But yeah, my predecessor, Pope Francis, God rest his soul, spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch for that one. He had some great moments throughout his career. We wanted to celebrate.
He did.
his
He had
career.
an unbelievable highlight reel list.
I think he's probably the biggest loss this year since George Foreman, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, George Foreman still. It's like him then Franciscus. Because
Yep.
them toasties haven't hit the same since.
I was going to say, I personally, in my own rankings, would put Toasties above Catholicism.
Even me,
Yeah.
with my background, I'm straying towards a toasty.
You love Toasties.
Yeah.
Like, I could do without Catholicism, but Toasties would be... I had a Toastie today.
Yeah.
I haven't prayed in years.
I haven't prayed in a fucking long time.
Oh, it's because it doesn't work.
Yeah, but I'll have at least weekly toasties.
Yeah, that's true. That's your church.
That's my replacement for the rosary.
Every Sunday you get the George Foreman out. So we just wanted to recap some of his greatest hits. Freaky Frankie the first, going off. In 2020, the official Pope Instagram account liked a post from OnlyFans model Natalia Garibotto wearing a schoolgirl outfit. Then unliked it the next day. The model reportedly said, "At least I'm going to heaven."
That's pretty funny from her.
Yeah, that's hilarious. And it's also funny that Freaky Frankie must have been, 85 then?
Getting horny on the main.
Yeah, so she's probably about 20,
Yeah.
wearing a sort of hentai-style schoolgirl outfit.
Yeah, some like fucking Overwatch costume.
Do you think he was just like in the middle of a speech and then he took a bathroom break and was scrolling for a bit?
I don't know whether it was that. Like, do you reckon it was a fella running the accounts that just got a bit horny in the 9 to 5 and forgot he was on the?
Are you saying that Pope Francis didn't run his own Instagram?
I don't think he even knew what Instagram was.
No, that's true.
Or there is the alternative that Frankie himself was just.
Well, I like that the account unliked it. Sometimes I've been through that. Like, I've been looking through Instagram profiles of like girls that I fancied in school, just see what they're up to now.
Yeah.
See where their life has taken them, you know.
Mm.
And when I accidentally like one, I believe that if you unlike it fast enough, no one will know.
Still, that notification stays.
No,
You know what
if you get it straight away,
do you know what a good tactic
it
is?
doesn't send.
Unliking it, but then going on to like the most recent. It's much less criminal. Because they'll see the like, and then they'll be like, wait, what was this? And then they'll see that it was in the most recent post.
Does it not tell you which post it is?
It'll just say like the post, but if you click on it and it's disappeared,
Yeah.
and then they go into the notifications and it says Rufus Rice liked a post from 3 days ago compared to their family holiday in fucking Albufeira in 2014.
I'm not going that far in the archives. I should point that out because, like, in 2014 I was 12.
Yeah, I've definitely went that far back before. But not for criminal reasons. Just sometimes, even like a comedian, I'll scroll back and be like, "Fuck, this is what they were doing back then." Or see someone's like old gigs or old stand-up.
I do like it when people have converted their personal accounts into business accounts, and you go back like 10 years and it's them like cycling with their mum, eating a Belgian bun.
What was it Finn Taylor was saying? I can't remember if it was on this podcast. I think it was, where he was saying about comedians posting stuff of their like personal life on a page just for comedy. And he was saying, I don't give a fuck if you put up a photo of your wife unless they're particularly funny looking.
Yeah,
which is a good point.
Fat wife, ugly kids.
Yeah,
that's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, in the name of comedy.
In 2022, the Pope gave a speech where he admitted that priests, nuns, and church officials all watch porn. He claimed it's a route by which the devil can enter your soul, and he denied ever using a mobile phone apart from one call to his family. So he's a laptop tugger.
Yeah.
Because he's only denying some of it. He's only going, well, I don't have a phone, so I can't watch
He chose those words wisely.
So he's either watching it on the laptop or the Xbox. Those are the only options.
It was a bold move for him to speak on behalf of the entire priesthood there.
Well, you're a nun. I think you'll say he's probably right.
In terms of them not wanking?
No, in terms of them definitely wanking.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think, like, the devil entering your soul route doesn't, I find it really hard to care. Like, I don't think that really, it doesn't matter, does it?
Nah, I don't.
Because I think he comes out the penis. So he comes in through the soul, but then you shoot him out the penis.
Through just ejaculation, you get rid of them.
Yeah, so it's a real, like, it's a loop.
Do you reckon there's some, like, real defensive priest whenever this came out that was like, no, I don't watch porn, I'm not some sort of animal?
I reckon there's a, priest out there who hasn't watched porn. There's got to be one, right?
Yeah, the same priest probably just touch kids for their vice.
Yeah, they don't have to, do you?
Yeah.
It's like that one guy at school who he never watched porn. Then he stabbed his grandma. So. You laugh. That's a true story.
Yeah, it's a better move to stab your granny than to touch children, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. Step in lamb shit, step in dog shit. Which would you rather have, I think? Okay, next one. Last year, Pope Francis was accused of using that homophobic slur that we all know, don't have to say it, in an official meeting with ministers at a university.
Can I say it?
The Pope does not give you that power. So Pope Francis was accused of using that one slur we know in an official meeting with ministers. After an official apology from the Vatican, he then used it again 2 weeks later.
Never back down, Frankie.
Yeah.
That's why we love him.
He stands by his beliefs. In 2014, he said that if aliens turned up on Earth, he would have no problem baptizing them, emphasizing that everyone is welcome in the church, including green men with long noses and big ears.
Sounds like he's describing like a Nazi propaganda poster.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're getting. I mean, that is what I think aliens look like, sort of.
Yeah.
But the idea that they'd want to be baptized is very funny. Like, imagine you're a highly intelligent alien race come to invade our planet, and you see a neek in a dressing gown holding a bowl of water.
Top hat.
Yeah, yeah. you just fucking kill him straight away.
Do you remember? Obviously, you're not massively involved with the Catholic Church. Neither am I, but it would be a lot more sort of. It'd be big news in Ireland whenever something like this happens.
Yeah.
But basically, over COVID, whenever they had to socially distance and they couldn't do baptisms, they used to baptize babies with a water pistol. I swear to God,
No.
this isn't fake. Like the mother or the father would be holding the child over here,
Yeah.
and the priest would be over here, fucking lining it up.
Really?
Yeah, just shooting the baby in the head.
Like
with
target
a water pistol.
practice. Yeah. They got one of those big super soakers where you have to crank it.
Just drowning the baby. He gets carried away and starts soaking the fucking crowd.
Yeah. It's like the police with those cannons dispelling those crowds. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like priests that use rubber bullets because apparently it doesn't hurt.
Doesn't it like leave you
I
with
say priests or police there. I meant to say police anyway.
Yeah. Doesn't it leave you with bruises for life
There's
though?
people that's died from rubber bullets.
Have they?
Yeah.
I guess if you got one straight down the throat, you'd probably die.
Yeah, you fuckers were big fans of them back in Ireland.
Yeah. Good old days. During the COVID pandemic, transgender prostitutes in Rome were struggling because the lockdowns caused chaos for their business model. Suddenly there's no people out on the street looking for transgender prostitutes. So Pope Francis provided financial aid to keep the industry going. And they sent him a WhatsApp audio message as a thank you, which said, "May the Virgin protect you," which is kind of ironic.
Yeah, it is. It's quite funny.
In Greece in 2021, he was quizzed about the sinful nature of having sex outside of marriage. He said that it was the least serious one.
Can I ask you a question about the transsexual story?
Yeah, sure.
Do you reckon that donation was the only part of that transaction?
Oh, do you think something's coming back the other way?
Yeah. I think Frankie the dog might have went there if he was stuck.
That's not really his sort of thing. I don't know if you know much about the church, but they don't love him.
Yeah, but if he's happy enough to throw them a fiver,
Yeah.
you might be thinking, you know what, there's very little going in these streets at the minute.
Right.
And a mouth to mouth.
Thing is, I think you can have more useful things than that at that age. Like, he probably just needs someone to clip his toenails, right?
I mean, I'm pretty they can still do that. Like,
It's not one or the other. In an open letter to non-believers in 2013, Pope Francis clarified that you didn't have to believe in God to go to heaven. He said that God would forgive those that didn't believe and those who didn't seek faith. According to him, God's mercy had no limits. Then the Vatican came out with a correction clarifying that those outside the church still cannot be saved if they refuse to enter it, ensuring that all atheists are definitely aware that we will burn in hell if we don't join them. God may make all of us, but unless you're a Catholic, you're basically human kindling.
I love how quickly they were to distance themselves from his quotes.
It's a great one. Like, they believe that God makes everybody, right? So everybody's got to be made equally if they're all made by the same good guy, right?
Yeah.
But because I don't agree with that, I have to burn.
Yeah. Strange.
Like, surely if we're all equal, then none of us are going to burn, right?
There's a whole lot of people that are burning in the Bible.
I've never read it. It's a... As we've touched on before, I'm more of a Guinness World Record Gamers Edition guy.
Yeah, what a book that is.
Yeah, that's a classic.
I remember reading that at story time in like P7, the 2010 edition.
Yeah.
What a year that was.
Minecraft had 4 pages, I think.
That was back in the beta days too.
Yeah. They were basically, I don't know what the childhood equivalent is, but those pages were basically stuck together. With my spit. With my snot, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that age.
I hope you weren't wanking over the fact that someone figured out how to build a crafting table.
No, I was just reading it so much, it just sort of
yeah.
falls out of kids at that time, doesn't it? Snot.
Mm.
Gets the pages all sticky. Yeah, a little bit like your uncle's Playboys. Right, let's move on to our next story now. We got another cheeky story for you. Maybe we could follow a bit of Pope Francis' wisdom and decide how sinful this one is.
Yeah.
A Democratic candidate in the state of Virginia released an unprompted statement on social media outing herself as a swinger to, quote, get ahead of the press and stop a media spectacle. No one knew about this, and no one had forced her to admit it. This is a quote from her.
Yeah.
I refuse to live in the shadows waiting for information to be leaked.
Sounds like fucking Batman.
Yeah, I know. I refuse to live in the shadows.
What a vigilante in the underworld.
What is it? Are you fucking dead shot from Suicide Squad? I know.
Just thought it'd be a good time to ask, is there anything you want to confess just to kind of get out ahead of the press?
Okay. Summer 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Cornwall and I posted some fudge through a letterbox. And that's not a euphemism. I did that exact thing.
Yeah.
Right? So I bought some fudge for a laugh. Right, really hot day. I didn't eat any of the fudge. I let all the fudge melt.
Yeah.
Right, and then, you know, those red letter boxes where everyone puts their mail.
Yeah.
I slotted the fudge through there and into the hottest bin of all time, so it would melt over all the mail.
This is so inconvenient.
Can't remember. I don't know why I did it. You know, it probably had negligible impact on anything.
Is that the first time you've ever told anyone about this?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I'm sorry to those people who got fudge on their letters.
Well, at least now you know that the mainstream media woke brigade isn't going to out you for that.
Yeah. Fudge packers.
You quite literally are a fudge packer.
Yeah, that's my confession. I'm a fudge packer.
Yeah.
Just not in that way.
I mean, it's early days yet.
Yeah, I'm not a fudge packer yet. That's my confession.
Yeah.
Anyway, this candidate, Yvonne Rora, clarified that she and her husband live happily with their 4 children in a, quote, ethically non-monogamous 22-year marriage. Ethically
Yeah, she has to point out that it's ethics.
Yeah. And remain deeply committed and in love. What's interesting is she's married to a registered Republican despite being a Democrat candidate. And she lives in a county that is voted almost 80% for Donald Trump in the last election, so deep red area.
Yeah, it's bound to be an awkward dinner.
So, like, no, but those swingers parties, like, she's got to be the only blue there, right?
There's a lot of spiteful fucking going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of spiteful shagging, I would have thought.
They're trying to convert her.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
It depends on what kind of person you are.
What you're into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But given that she's been 22 years deep in the game, I reckon it is a good thing.
She's got experience, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a veteran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Master prestige. We say it every time, but yeah. Like, is she shagging the other politicians? Probably. Political people are political friends, right? Like,
Do you know, people talk about the 5 degrees of separation.
5 degrees of Kevin Bacon, right?
I mean, I'm
No, that's the game, right?
I'm probably tied to him at some point through 5 people.
Yeah.
But do you reckon that she shagged Trump? Or at least shagged someone that shagged Trump?
So if she's done lesbian bits with Stormy Daniels, we're in.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're in the money then.
I had business dealings with a girl who also shagged Matty Healy from the 1975. So that's one link for me.
Yeah.
So I'm not too far from Kevin Bacon.
You don't even have to shag them though, we're just seeing them.
Oh, I thought that was the game.
Well, in this case, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But like even through Deji, we've completed life.
5 degrees of penetration. That's all right. That's okay. Don't mind that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
through
true.
Deji, we've got a connection to Trump.
I haven't shagged Deji yet.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Has Deji met Trump?
No, but Deji's definitely met Logan Paul, who's definitely met Trump.
Right. Yeah.
It's within 5 people. I'm pretty sure it is.
I thought it was 6.
Maybe.
But it has to be to Kevin Bacon every time, I think. No, I'm not joking. That's the game.
Finish on Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. Her personal announcement drew criticism from basically everybody who read it. They branded the news TMI. Someone else wrote, "No one gives a rat's ass what you do in the bedroom," which I think is fair enough.
Pretty open-minded, actually, from that sort of state.
Yeah, that's true. Because I think they would have gone, well, you should probably burn in hell for that.
Yeah.
But I don't think swinging is illegal in the church. Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah. Depends what you're swinging from.
A tree.
It is.
Like if I'm just Tarzaning it, I'm fine, right?
Do you reckon someone's maybe blackmailing her? Because why the fuck else would someone be so mental to openly confess this unprompted?
That's true. Like, even what's the point of getting out in front of it is another thing.
Do you know what it might be? It might be the case that she lives in like a small village and she's sort of met most of her potential swinging.
Oh, you think it's marketing?
I think she's marketing herself, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yvonne Rora for Senator of Virginia. Who wants a bit of it? Is that a running slogan? Yeah. Who wants a piece of me? Come get some if you think you're hard enough, I think.
You'll definitely see her on those like horny MILFs in your area ads.
Yeah. Maybe she's the one. She's the unicorn.
Yeah.
You know, the one.
It's actually real.
The one real one. Yeah.
Where you're from, there's definitely truth to the
Yeah, there are horny MILFs in my area, but I still think the adverts are fake.
yeah. If you click one, it won't bring you to it, but if you knock on the wrong door, it probably will.
Yeah, that's true. I reckon I could go door to door, probably 40% horny MILF hit rate.
Just in your building alone.
No, mine's more horny gilfs where I live because it's a retirement home.
Okay.
Well, it was originally, but I live there now. I'm about 50 years younger than the next youngest resident.
And are you still taken care of as a member of the retirement home?
Well, I still get my corridor hoovered, if that's what you mean.
Just to get bathed and stuff?
No, nobody comes to take away my pissy sheets, no. Right, on to sports now. Snatch of the day, and we're heading over to the peaceful and tranquil vibes of the Russian Football League. A Russian politician has proposed an unorthodox solution to the country's problems with football hooliganism. So Igor Lebedev, who is a member of the Russian parliament, began some official plans this week to draw up rules for what he calls draka, which is Russian for fight.
Yeah.
20 unarmed fighters on each team in a football arena. In a statement, he said, organised brawls could turn fans' aggression in a peaceful direction. Because that's what I've always thought. You know what will help create peace? Just letting them beat the shit out of each other. He also claimed it would serve as an example for English fans, who he characterised as undisciplined louts and poor fighters.
He's not wrong.
No, I couldn't agree more.
And I fully get behind this because the 2018 World Cup was absolutely shit. So this would have given us something to celebrate.
That's true, yeah. What, Ireland? Something to celebrate? The English getting destroyed by by the Russian mafia with crowbars and chains. Yeah.
That would have brought glory to the nation.
Lebedev said, Russia would be pioneer in the new sport.
Mm-hmm.
And he also sounds like Gru, I think. Who suggested fights between different fan groups could draw crowds of thousands.
It fucking would.
Would it?
Look at Baller League. You stick Mini Minter as one of the coaches and they'll be flying.
do we have like Angry Ginge for the Siberians?
It would get a crowd pumping, in fairness, for a fight.
Yeah. English fans arrive, for example, and start picking fights, and they get the answer. Challenge accepted. A meeting in a stadium at a set time.
Yeah.
We fight at dawn. Dmitry. Send the nukes. That's pretty legit. That's a decent Russian accent, I think.
It's basically just like the Colosseum does.
Yeah. 20 versus 20, though.
Yeah. The only thing is with the Russians, the 20 they're sending out isn't just going to be 20 average Russians. Like the English, it would be your average fucking overweight Millwall fan that thinks they're hard because they once beat up a underage West Ham supporter.
Yeah, that's so accurate. Yeah.
But the Russians, they would, if they were going to do this and they were going to launch it, they would be taken seriously.
Yeah, but those guys, like, they do actually fight polar bears in the winter and stuff. Like,
but they would be genetically engineering these warriors in a lab with like the DNA of an Ivan Drago.
Yeah.
But then again, I suppose, what would you do to even the odds for the English? 8 pints of Stella?
I'm not sure. The calculus is quite difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder how many fat, bald, sunburnt geezers with 8 pints of Stella down with a massive infected West Ham tattoo it takes to take down one, like, Khabib, like, UFC, little goatee beard, fucking ripped, roided Russian.
Dagestani
some
export with a neck beard.
Dagestani neckbeard export who's been like at the School of Hard Knocks since day one, and he's like,
married to their second cousin.
Married to his second cousin. He only eats what he can kill.
Refuses to shake Kate Abdo. Is it Abdo? Abdo. Kate Abdo's hand.
Yeah. I just wonder. I think 20 versus 20 is not fair. I think it would have to be more like 20 versus 3.
3 Russians?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do English people think they're so hard?
I don't think that. I think I would lose if we had a fight. I think I would lose even if he gave me a gun.
You know, like the average geezer, as you said.
Yeah.
Think they've got something about them, but why? Like what? Just because I've watched fucking Rocky 1 to 5 on repeat?
Yeah, that's true. They do. And they're always like, they watch UFC and they're like, if it was fucking me, like, I would never go down. You know what I mean?
The people that are so adamant that they'd never tap out, but they've
Yeah,
never been in a
they're
fucking
like,
headlock.
yeah, it's like, he gets me in an arm bar, but no worries, Gee, I'll never chant down, I'll never fit down, I'll get out of that, and then I'll fucking spin around and fucking get him on the floor.
Yeah.
He's a pussy. Those guys are morbidly obese.
Yeah. See how long that attitude lasts whenever your fucking wrist is in a different postcode than your elbow.
That is more egregious than Theo Baker saying he'd score 10 goals in the Prem.
Yeah. Theo Baker, I went and watched the Sideman YouTube All-Stars charity match.
Yeah.
And he only scored 3.
Yeah, right.
Which I think that's a free-for-all. Like, if you've got a working right foot, you're bagging a hat-trick that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to take away from the achievement, but as you said as well, if he's getting injured at a fucking Sideman charity,
I reckon Oscar Pistorius could score a hat-trick.
Oh, yeah.
Without the fake legs.
Oh, just with the nubs?
Just 3 headers, I think. get him
That'd be good
arriving at the back post.
Yeah. Have someone to lift him and just launch him at the near post.
Just throw him into the ball.
Yeah, it'd be a good move
Sort of
for
rugby pass.
if you're defending a counter-attack.
You've got a ranged weapon.
A perfect spiral.
Yeah. Nice tight laser. Yeah. Right, now we're going to move on to the games segment. It's Gamey Schumer coming at you, and after the thunderous popularity of Mad Libs every time, we're going to do it again. I haven't even read this one. No idea what the theme is.
Yeah.
But we'll give it a go. Aidan, I need a noun from you.
A noun. Let me see here. I'll just go Deji to start things off.
Yeah, sure. Person in the room. So it's going to be you or me.
JFK.
Yep, sure. JFK. Yeah. Verb.
Fingering.
Yeah.
Just to really bring it back.
Classic. Part of the body, plural.
Montets.
Yeah, nice. Did you take some inspiration from your own build?
Yeah. I felt it leaning over this desk and I was like, fuck, that's a shout.
Adjective.
Gimpy.
Nice. Noun.
Paraplegic.
Yep.
Good luck spelling that. You got that down?
Yep.
Have you enough space for it?
Noun. I was a bit overconfident with the first few letters. I had to really squeeze the ejic into the blank.
What is it I've got?
The para took up at least half. Noun.
Epstein's Island.
That's a tough one to fit in the blank. Plural noun.
Butt plugs.
Yeah. Liquid.
A liquid.
Yeah, any old liquid.
Rehypnol.
Not a liquid.
Oh, is it not? Can you not get it in liquid form?
It's a pill, I think, right?
You should know your name's Rufy.
I know, it is unfortunate.
Yeah.
My year 5 music teacher was the first person to laugh about that. But I didn't know what it was then.
Yeah.
But it is unfortunate. My parents have called me that at points throughout my life.
Between
Rufy.
you being called Rufy and me being called AIDS, we don't come as a great combo.
The old Rufy and AIDS show.
What is it I need, sorry? A liquid?
Liquid, yeah.
I'm just gonna go piss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it. Like, I think 9 out of 10 times you say piss there.
Yeah.
And that time you had to think about saying something else, but you still said piss.
Yeah, it's a safe shot.
Adjective.
Deplorable.
Yeah. What word? Cracking out the thesaurus this week. Noun.
Joseph Fritzl.
Okay. Noun.
Vaseline. That's a thing, isn't it?
Yep, I've heard of it. Noun.
Louis Theroux.
Okay. Plural noun. We've used almost your whole vocabulary in 3 goes of this game.
Yeah. I'm gonna go local GP.
Okay. Person, female.
Stick down on Frank.
Yep.
For the laugh.
Noun, and then part of the body, and we're done.
Bagel.
Okay. Part of the body, plural. Last one.
Rectums.
Nice. Right, this is what we've got. It was Thanksgiving, and the scent of succulent roast deji wafted through my house. JFK. It's time for fingering, my mother called. I couldn't wait to get my man tits on that gimpy Thanksgiving meal. That's the hardest you've ever laughed in this podcast. I've never seen forehead on desk before.
It's just so stupid. Can't wait to get my man tits in that gimpy Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah. I'm going to let you recover because I think this next sentence is going to send you to space. My family sat around the dining room paraplegic.
Oh, they've just got like a set one for the dinner table.
The table was laid out with every kind of Epstein Island imaginable. There was a basket of hot buttered butt plugs.
Lube them things up.
And glasses of sparkling piss.
I think it would be nice if you give the option.
Yeah. Still a sparkling. How do you like your piss? The deplorable turkey sat steaming next to a tureen of Joseph Fritzl gravy. A bowl of ruby red Vaseline sauce, a sweet Louis Theroux casserole, and a dish of mashed local GPs tempted my taste buds. But the dish I looked forward to most was Grandma Anne Frank's famous bagel pie. Thanksgiving is my favourite holiday. Rectum's down. Wow. The dining room paraplegic is a real... That's a real wonder of the
First
world.
half of that was fucking quality.
Wow, yeah.
Louis Theroux was a weird shout, but it just came to me in the moment.
Wow. Every time it floors me.
Yeah.
Every single time. Couldn't wait to get my man tits on that, mate. Right, now we move on to Questionable. This is our audience interaction segment where we ask you a tantalizing prospect and you come back with the greatest responses known to mankind. In the history of modern writing systems, no one has ever read literature quite as magnificent as this. Except me, I read it every week. I have the pleasure of sifting through so much garbage. I do feel like I'm panning for gold in a sewer.
There will come a stage where someone's up at trial and a questionable segment,
Yeah.
something that they've submitted, might sort of decide the case.
Yeah, I mean, people are writing in like
A lot of criminal things.
horrible evidence for their own guilt.
There's a couple of people before that we've had to cut that just basically admitted to being a nonce.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
And we were like, fuck, man, that's just deplorable.
Yeah, or that time I asked people to submit pictures of their worst injuries, and I got so many banjo strings. Which is, you know,
It's a weird thing to, in the heat of the moment, think, fuck, I just snapped my banjo string. Let me take a selfie with it.
is it a selfie? I guess it is you,
Yeah.
because it's hard to get you and it in the
Unless you
same
get
photo.
your friend to take a selfie with it.
Not really a selfie, then, is it?
Yeah, it's a demi, I suppose.
Yeah, an RC. But yeah, reading these responses is genuinely like trying to find something useful in a sewer. As in, most of it is complete poo, and whether there's anything good in there anyway is very debatable. Right. First one. We've asked the people, what new law would you make if you could make any law? First up, YouTubers legally required to stick to YouTube only. Why the fuck am I hearing KSI on the radio?
Yeah. I suppose they're always going to try and branch out, but I do know what he means.
KSI's made some classics, mate. Should be all over the radio.
You know what? It shows how little I value his music career that I thought he was just on, like, fucking promoting his next YouTube video.
What do you think he was? You think he was just on what, having a chat?
Yeah, like,
He probably is, to be fair.
yeah.
And then they play Lamborghini.
I do think there's a lot of YouTubers that get a few subscribers and think, you know what, I can afford auto-tune now, I'm going to release a song.
Yeah.
Just keep that.
Well, I hate when YouTubers make businesses like Will N.E., who we've had on,
Yeah.
making his horseshit coffee. That's so rude. He nicely came on our podcast.
Yeah.
But I do like, what's the point?
Have you even tried the coffee?
No, never. But I do think that, like, why are you making coffee?
Yeah.
Like, I know, money, but like that already exists.
Do you ever sometimes think,
And I think people who buy YouTuber products and like, oh my god, this is so cool. These are, you know, this is anal lube made by Grotashore, and it's like, wow, I have to buy some of this. I think those people are fucking neeks.
I was about to say, and I'm going to alienate some reviewers here because there's definitely been people that did it. But if there's anyone watching that has ever wore a Sideman tracksuit, fucking.
If you're listening to this and you've got the Calyx crepes on, leave. Please. I don't want that kind of person in the audience.
Yeah, we'll happily.
If you're hyped about the next No 2 Ways drop, please turn this podcast off.
If you're fucking signed up to their newsletter.
Yeah. If you're eating Shades by Nico whilst watching this, please turn off.
Apparently they just taste like shit squashies.
Which squashies are already really bad.
I disagree.
Yeah.
A shit squashy can still be a nice sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's actually a compliment.
Yeah, just in case we ever get Nico on.
Just about. Yeah, Nico, love you, by the way. Please come on the show.
Yeah, we do need our second
come
POC.
and promote your products. Our audience will lap that shit up.
Yeah.
Apparently,
in fairness, though, every time I go into my local co-op, there's like 4 empty boxes of it in the shelf where it's so.
Oh, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying anyone who buys it is a moron.
Yeah.
Next one. If you're a fat gimp, I think they're talking to you, Aidan. Who spills over the side of their seat on public transport, you should have to stand for efficiency purposes.
Not quite at that stage.
Yeah. I think this should apply on planes as well.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah. I think if you can't fit in a single economy seat, you have to get checked into the hold.
As a member of the community, I can sort of comment on this without backlash.
Yeah.
I have never even threatened to spill into a different seat. I've never even threatened to need a fucking seat.
I didn't know about that. I reckon you've been asking a few questions.
In regards to what? Can you shift over?
Not threats, but you've certainly you certainly brought it up.
Yeah, but like if you get to that stage, surely that's whenever it's a wake up call. You take a look at yourself.
Yeah.
Like one of my friends, they were seeing someone and they were like getting turned away from like theme park rides and stuff. And I was thinking, surely that's whenever you think, fuck, maybe I'll.
My wake up call was when my granny called me fat.
Yeah,
and she's pretty fat phobic. I was actually in decent shape.
Yeah,
but she goes, "I'm looking a bit chubby." I was 16, I think.
Yeah,
and it's because McDonald's delivery had just started in Singapore, and I was at a boarding school by myself.
Yeah, so you're just making the most.
I used to have about 4 a weekend. It was unreal, and they do McWings as well. Oh, McWings.
Yeah,
that is
people
like
underestimate, especially the older generation, how easy it is whenever you've got access to like Uber Eats or something. If they had that growing up, they'd be in the same position.
Yeah,
they're not used to that technology, so they're not using it.
No, because they can barely send an email.
Yeah, like I was telling you earlier, I had a stand-up gig the other night. Didn't go great. Ordered a Chinese. It was there for me coming home.
Yeah,
Fucking
right.
Beautiful.
You are the sort of guy who would pre-order a delivery to make sure it arrives before you do.
It there, yeah. I was just getting to the door and the fucker on the bike was pulling up.
Right, yeah,
Perfect timing.
Next one. Online platforms like Discord, etc. should have an age restriction that you can only bypass with a passport or some shit. Genuine wording. Not because it's harmful to the kids, though. It's because I can't fucking stand chronically online people. Let's breed the specky pale neeks out of society. Touch grass.
I agree with this.
Yeah.
See people that speak strictly using TikTok language.
Yeah.
Does my tits in.
Mm. I know you can find the people because they speak in a sort of weird American accent.
Yeah.
Because all their friends are kittens from California.
Just the amount of times in that office, whenever I used to work, I don't even know what to say there.
No, yeah.
The amount of times at work I've heard people be like, "Oh, it's given this or it's given that." It's giving me a fucking headache. Just pipe down and speak like a normal person.
It's giving me a thirst for blood. Next one. If a homeless person challenges you to a fight and beats you, he gets to take over your life and you have to switch places with him.
That's
but
great.
if you beat him, you get to take one item from him. And to be real, I'd take the hat with the money in it.
I'm taking the rack of ribs all day long.
Aidan, you have to get over this. They don't keep the ribs.
No, but right, Rufus.
Homeless people steal ribs and immediately trade it for drugs. That's why they're stealing the ribs, because they're suffering from withdrawals.
What if their drug dealer is on their lunch break? They have to sit on the ribs for a while. If you get them in a good time,
that's not how it works. Drug dealers don't have a 9 to 5.
If the ribs are in their inventory at a certain time, it's worth trading.
Drug dealers don't work like that. Drug dealers are around the clock. They don't think, I should clock off now.
Believe it or not, drug dealers aren't the most reliable people. We had a person in the Holy Lands in Belfast who used to deliver to your door, And funny enough, he was always late. You would book him in for like 8 o'clock, and
Yeah.
he'd land at 1 o'clock in the morning with the stuff.
Okay,
I was
that
thinking-
is a bit late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, if he's off his tits, eating fucking brownies and stuff, time management isn't going to be his best skill,
Right.
which I quickly learned.
So what you think is that we've quickly established on this show that what you think is every homeless person in the world is got a rack of ribs under their jumper.
more or less, yeah.
Yeah. Next one. No windows allowed on any buildings. Classic. Little Taliban policy
Up
there.
the Taliban.
Yeah.
That's a bad thing to say out of
I
context.
think that's the first up the Taliban in podcast history, unless they've got one. Do the Taliban have a podcast?
Probably on certain airwaves.
Yeah.
Maybe not the ones we're listening to.
No. Maybe we're being it's being censored.
Yeah,
Should-
which I don't agree with.
Yeah, I'm a free speech guy. But I would like it if there were like members of the Taliban sitting around like, yo, bro, like, what's the last ankle you've seen?
If you do Afghanistan right.
Mate, if you do Kabul right, like, it's calm though. Like, yeah. Where are we gonna go? Where are we gonna invade? No way, bro. Cops new AK. You gotta surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
If your guys aren't reading the Quran,
Bricking up windows.
bricking up windows,
Boycotting chess.
boycotting chess, drinking tea instead of WKD,
Lashing people that show their ankles.
lashing women, then you ain't in the right space, bro. You need to level up your coin. That would be funny. Motivational Taliban stuff.
What's like a traditional Afghanistan food? Afghani food?
It's really hard because surprise, I haven't been there.
Yeah. I did try it once, I think. I did.
What, a doner?
No, it wasn't a doner. It was just like rice and chicken and different sauces and stuff.
Oh no, you went to Nando's.
I can go for Nando's now.
That would be good. Talibandos. Right, next one. Minimum 60 miles an hour in school zones. The next one. Drop depth charges at random points in the English Channel, forcing the boats to play a kind of immigration minesweeper. If they get here safely, they can stay. I like Minesweeper. Great game. Classic game.
And what's your thoughts on immigration?
I've done it before. I've been an immigrant myself, but because I'm a white person, they call it expat.
Yeah, I'm technically an immigrant.
Yeah. No, you're not. You're British. From Northern Ireland. You're one of the best British podcast producers in the game, I think.
Just you watch yourself there, father.
You're on the wrong side of the line, mate.
You're on the wrong side of history, mate.
We drew a line to separate us from them.
There is no
And by us, I'm talking about both of us.
yeah, both of us, is that right?
Yeah, and you live on our side of the line.
There is no border.
No. We drew it in
It's invisible.
with Sharpie.
It doesn't
It's like-
exist.
It's like that's why Africa basically looks like a Rubik's cube. It's because we drew a load of squares and said that's where you live now. Last point: the human meat kebab shop in Exeter should be awarded a Michelin star.
I mean, if it tastes good, I'm not a
Have you heard about this?
no, but
So Fever in Exeter, which is a club I've been to a few times actually.
club appearances.
Yeah, club appearances, but also like recreationally.
Mm.
Because I used to go down to Exeter. I used to go to uni in Bath and go to Exeter on the weekends for a laugh. Had mates down there. There was a kebab shop outside, and they found a woman's head in the bin.
By the way, sorry to interrupt that, but it's hilarious us arguing about that in these costumes.
Yeah, well, you're funny.
So they found a head in the bin.
They found a woman's head in the bin, and the rumor was that she was in the sheesh as well. No proof of that. They found the guy who did it.
Yeah.
And he lived above the kebab shop.
Oh, fuck, that doesn't look good.
No, but they did find the head in the bin, and they had to close down.
If there was much meat in it, it would be a waste to not consider sticking it on the fucking spinny yoke.
Hey, look, I'm not a guy who likes waste,
Yeah.
but I think sometimes you probably just got to start again.
Mm.
Like if I wake up in that kebab shop and I find that in the bin, I'm probably replacing the skewers
Just in case.
just in case.
Yeah. You'll forego a bit of profit just in the name of safety.
I'm not saying they did that. I'm saying that's what I would do.
Yeah.
But no one's proven anything.
Yeah.
And I heard some people did get some quite bad botulism after that. But who knows? And on that note, that's where we'll end it here. Thank you for listening to the Radio Rufus Catholic special. Make sure you go out on your apps, your Christian Mingles,
Got very Catholic at the end there.
Godify, other Christian jokes, and rate us 5 stars on all the platforms. We'll be back next week with another cracking episode, slightly less religious this time.
Yeah.
And back to
I
you.
might still wear this outfit though.
Yeah, you look great.
Cheers.
Back to you in your house.